This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I don't know how much more people need to see to understand what is going on in this world. I might say that often. But when stories like this come out, how do people not see that the stuff we're talking about is real? How do they not see that these Satanists who claim to be atheists are nothing but a bunch of fairy liars, pansy liars, scum of the earth? How's this for a story? You ready to get queasy? These poor animals that are always victimized by these people, they look at animals like nothing. They look at us like cattle, and they get away with this stuff over and over. 11 people have been charged with animal ritual sacrifice. Now, of course, it just says animal ritual sacrifice. It doesn't mention Satan. It doesn't mention Aleister Crowley. It doesn't mention any of that stuff. It just says, it's some type of ritual animal sacrifice. Well, who do you think they were sacrificing the animals to? Their plumber? Were they sacrificing the animals to the guy down at 7-Eleven who's making them a Slurpee? Who do you think they're sacrificing the animals to, for crying out loud? 11 people were arrested in what they're calling the Texas Massacre. Texas authorities busted what appears to be a ritual animal sacrifice at a San Antonio residence. At least 11 people were arrested on animal cruelty charges. And you can see the pictures of these people's mugshots. I mean, these just look like your everyday people, right? Don't you see? You can't stereotype and go, this guy, he might have black lipstick on and wear black clothing, so he must be a Satanist or she must be a Satanist. This just looks like your regular next door neighbor. Little overweight, but your next door neighbor nonetheless. And these are the people who are doing this. Don't you see it could be going on up your road anywhere? This is going on in just a regular house in San Antonio. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched around 7 p.m. to the 11400 block of Bronze Sand Road after neighbors called in to report animals being slaughtered with knives. After arriving on the scene, they stumbled upon a dozen people inside a garage and witnessed a woman dismembering an animal of unknown origins. Another person was found draining chicken's blood into a container. What does that sound like to you? What kind of a ritual is this? Is it just a bunch of people playing Guess Who, the board game? Not hard to figure out. I mean, I just exposed the Satanic Black Mass, which is on the Fire Rises channel. Same thing, right? They kill the chicken, they drain the blood, they slit the throat of the goat. What are these rituals for? These rituals sure aren't for Jesus. These rituals for Buddha? I don't know. Who could the rituals be for? Who would kill animals? Oh, but remember, we don't do that kind of stuff. We're just atheists. We don't do that. I mean, you got USA Today reporting on it, and it just says, dozen arrested in suspected animal sacrifice in Texas. Nothing in it about Satanism, nothing in it about the occult. It's like, what would the ritual be for if it wasn't? Unbelievable. It says, it appears they were having some unknown ritual, said the sergeant who went onto the scene to find this. She said they were speaking a different language that the officer did not recognize. The language was not English nor Spanish. They were probably speaking Latin or speaking in tongues. Do you think so, officer? Officer, you ready to piece? I mean, I know you're not Sherlock Holmes here. Okay, officer? I know we don't have Matlock dug up from the grave. But when you walk in and you see a bunch of people speaking in tongues or Latin or some language you can't identify, and they're drinking goat's blood or whatever it was, draining blood out of a chicken, and dismembering animals, what do you think's going on? Huh? Anybody paying you to do this job? Maybe we should call MacGyver. Police were also surrounded by grisly keepsakes, such as the heads and appendages of dead goats and chickens, as well as other animals. Boy, always seems to be a goat involved. I mean, you could look at the Black Mass rituals, goat after goat, slaughtered year after year in the Satanic ritual. chickens, blood being drained, these people bathing in the blood, these freaks. Unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. They find dead goats and chickens as well as other animals. More animals with multiple injuries and disfigurements were found throughout the home. So abused animals throughout the house. These poor animals who had no choice were just taken by these creep bags. Now, these people will walk. Of course they will. You know why? Because this is probably just some low-level cult, because they're in every neighborhood, okay? That doesn't mean the elites protect these kinds of people, because they're not in the same circles. They don't run together. Look at these people. They look like they run with the elites. I mean, these people look like they just came out of a sick ward. I don't know what they're thinking if they're getting, they're drinking the blood thinking they're getting youth. Looks like the opposite. People look like they're 150 years old and couldn't be heavier. But you got these animals in the house dismembered, and you don't think that eventually these people will walk like we hear in all these satanic cases? You know how? Because when other Satanists in town get wind of the story and stuff like that, they cover it up for them. Not because they love and care about them, because they make stuff like this seem like a fairy tale. And this stuff always goes, it wasn't some type of satanic ritual. They were just weird. Or it was, there was just a few of them were weird people who were killing animals. Or, they were killing animals to eat the animals. We were wrong in arresting them, right? And then it'll just be, quote, ritual type killings. Not satanic, right? They won't use that word anymore because the Satanists are just parading around in gay pride parades. Hey, we're liberals. We're not Satanists. We're all for LGBT and all this stuff. Huh? You need to use the Baphomet and the Satan in your name? Oh, you do? How come? Why is that? Oh, right. And you got rituals posted all over your sites and your personal blogs and whatever Facebook pages. And we're supposed to believe this stuff. And sadly, people out there do. They get on Fox News and these other channels. They're like, yeah, we're atheists. And they go, oh, okay, we respect that. I mean, yeah. And I'm Thor. I'm the Dark Knight. I mean, what a joke. It says several neighbors offered their frightening accounts of the incident as it happened. They said it sounded, quote, it sounded like a man moaning, but I heard the goat. It sounded like it was coming from a human. Ugh, I mean, just sickening. I said I was very shocked because it's not something you hear every day. So it's not something that happens here, said a neighbor. I understand people got freedom of religion, but that kind of stuff doesn't need to happen here. Agreed. How many times do I need to say people go, we got freedom of religion, so these Christians are running around being bigots. They're taking away our right to free speech. Meanwhile, these people are slaughtering animals. Where are all these animal rights activists to go after the Satanists? Oh, they're nowhere, right? Because they won't link this to Satan, the Satanic Church or Temple or any of these people who claim to be Satanists, who get on TV, who beg for followings, who wear their stupid shirts with the Baphomet and the pentagram on it. Your time's up. Okay, the awakening is happening right now. Sick of this crap. 11 people arrested, as I said earlier, and they will face misdemeanor charges of cruelty to non-livestock animals. And I don't even want to know inside the house. What could have happened inside the house with dogs and cats as well. I mean, it's just... They found 12 to 14 people inside the garage of this house, by the way. 12 to 14 people, 11 were arrested. Not sure how anybody was able to walk clean. Maybe there was a judge in there or some high-ranking official who's allowed to scoot out the back door. You find 14 people in a garage. You see a goat getting its throat slit. You probably see him eating it, bathing in it. Somebody draining the blood of a chicken. You think maybe they go, you're all under arrest? Then you got the police officers trying to figure out what's going on. Some type of ritual, I think. They were speaking some type of weird language. It wasn't Spanish or English. Well, what do you think it was? Dutch? Yeah, they're all getting together speaking Dutch. Maybe it was Portuguese they were speaking. What do you think it was? What do you think they're doing? They only show you it in every movie. Oh, you just don't want to say it, right? Covering up for them, covering up for the Satanists. But you put on anything on any show pretty much on TV now, they'll show you some type of ritual. Put on Santa Clarita Diet. They'll show you eating a human heart and doing a human sacrifice. But no, right? This is the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I get fired up. It's not just, making people aware, telling them about symbols and stuff. How about victims? Children are victims every day. Animals are victims every day. And who has the bullseye on their back? We do. Why? Because we're bigots, because we don't have tolerance for people to do what they want. We don't have tolerance for parents who dress up their 5-year-old son as a girl. That they're slitting the throats of a goat. And people go, well, what's the difference? You could buy a chicken at the grocery store. What's the difference? Right? That's going to be the next excuse. Who cares they were draining the blood of the chicken? You go to the grocery store, you go to KFC, and you get a chicken, right? You're getting partial human at KFC, but not getting a real chicken there. Nobody seems to care about these rituals going on. Just imagine what's going on with the poor children out there as well. Poor animals. Unbelievable. Sorry I had to make people aware of this, but it needs to be. Light needs to be shined on this stuff. Ask PETA or whatever these groups are. Where are they? Going after the Satanists. Of course, the Satanists and everybody will deny it. We don't know them. We're not affiliated with them. They could have, satanic, all the garb in the house and everything, the pentagram. We're not associated with them, right? But if it was a Christian family and they had a cross and a Bible inside, they go, oh, they're Christians, right? Just like the crap they tried to pull with the parents who were abusing their 13 kids and trapping them inside the house and making them slaves and forcing them to read the Bible, right? You can guarantee if this was a story about, if there's a cross or a Bible in the house, the story would be crazy Christians murdering animals in their garage. What a hypocritical, just unbelievable world we live in. It's a ritual sacrifice. You think so? It's an animal sacrifice. Yeah. You don't want to say what kind of ritual, right? No, it's just a random ritual that they're doing before they put on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, give me a break. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.